This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction to every single game. And this was the most heartbreaking, most frustrating, insert your adjective here, game of the Rays season so far. My name is Jonathan Shields. You can follow me on Twitter at Johnny10Shields, posting more consistently every day over there as well. As this one, we're going to talk about how Kevin Cash is an absolute shambles. This is the worst stretch of managing he's had in his 10-year career. Now I think he's 11-year manager, tenure out of the Tampa Bay Rays. We're going to talk about the bullpen collapsing, and we're going to look ahead to hopefully some greener pastures with the Brewers series. But first, we're going to be talking about what every Rays fan should be thinking right now. And I hit the wrong button. My bad.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Kevin Cash is not the only person in shambles, as apparently I am as well. Is this rock bottom? Because it sure feels like it. Looking back now, the Rays should have won 2 out of 3 games in this series. No questions about it. And when you look now, it is just, what do you do from here? The offense finally hit. This was the best at-bats I've seen our offense have in I don't even know how long, probably since the West Coast trip. I mean, the at-bats that Jonathan Rondo was having, that at-bats that Junior had for most of his at-bats, the at-bats that even Danny Jansen had throughout the game. Yandy had great at-bats. You just go down the line of the people that just had great at-bats. Ryan Pepiot was fantastic. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. Fantastic against that Phillies lineup. Garrett Clevenger, fantastic. Keeps doing his thing. Regression was coming for Edwin Uceta. He's been too good for the last 3 or 4 games. But I didn't think the regression was going to be as bad as it was today. I don't think anyone could have predicted that. And obviously, you know, Pete Fairbanks, when he's on, he's one of the best relief pitchers in baseball. And I'm not even going to pin what happened today on him, but he was statistically due to have a blown save. And it just so happened to come in one of the most important games of the Rays season. As the Rays have now lost 11 of their last 12 home games. They've lost 6 in a row at the very least, getting swept back-to-back times. It is embarrassing. It is a Phillies home game in there. They're chanting Eagles because God knows why the Philadelphia fans are getting the sport wrong. Or I don't know. I get the Eagles just won a Super Bowl and all, but again, it is embarrassing right now. Like we said, this loss is heartbreaking. It's embarrassing to be, you know, to be a fan of this team right now. You know, we talk about the Rays going to Tampa and having 10,000 seats. 7,000 of those were Phillies fans tonight. And you look at this team. It's like you start to look, where are the bright spots? And the bright spots for the first time in a while are with the offense. And there just hasn't been a game in the last 3 weeks where the bats in pitching have been on at the same time. And I don't know, like obviously it's going to happen in the course of 162 games, but it has not happened in the last 2.5 weeks. And, you know, the Brewers come in. The Brewers don't have the lineup that the Phillies do, but the Brewers have a better bullpen and not a better rotation, but a better bullpen. And this was the game the Rays finally got to the Phillies bullpen, and they did damage against it. This is a game you cannot lose. It just cannot happen. And now we're going to go to Kevin Cash, because these last 2 of the last 3 games are 2 of the 3 of the worst managing performances I've ever seen out of him. And it starts in the 6th inning. Why is Chandler Simpson pitch hitting there for Curtis Mead, not Brandon Lau, in the 6th inning? Because this would lead to why the other moves had to be made. There's zero reason why Chandler Simpson should be hitting there. Again, we do this so I can't watch this interview. I hope that is a question. If Brandon Lau was not completely shut down, which I thought he was, it's like, oh, it's a complete off day for Brandon Lau. I get it. But now they bring him in the 10th inning. You bring him in there. I don't understand. You're going to pitch it for Curtis Mead for Chandler Simpson right there. I don't get it. And it kind of just shuffled everything. And so when you do that, when you go to pinch run for Aranda, who was fantastic tonight, you have to bring in Janikowski instead of Simpson, which further messes things up. You can't score there, okay? And you make even more changes, and those changes involve, because of the original move of pinch hitting Simpson, which again should have been Brandon Lau, you have to move Junior to first, which he's never played in his MLB career. Brandon Lau has played first base more recently than Junior Caminero. Why Brandon Lau didn't play first base instead of Junior is beyond me. utterly beyond me. You could have put you could have left Cabby at second. You could have put Junior at third. Walsted at short. You put Brandon Lau at first. Now, should have picked over for a second time? No, he should not. And that's going to be our turning point of the game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It's when the ball got by in the top of the ninth and the runner advanced all the way to third. Right then and there, the game was over. There's nothing the Rays could have done, at least in my eyes, to win that game, because you can only let a team like the Phillies hang around for so long. And when you give them breaks like that, they're going to make you pay. And they did. And it's only a matter of time. You saw in extra innings where they finally kind of broke out of it. So two of these last three games were the worst Kevin Cash manager performances that I've seen in my time watching the Rays. And I know he's going to turn around. I still take him over any manager in baseball. It is just, I don't know what it is. Like, if someone can explain to me the reason to pinch hit Simpson there in the sixth instead of Brandon Lau, please tell me, because I am still shocked by it, especially when you had to bring Brandon Lau off the bench anyway. I thought it was just going to be a full off day for Brandon Lau. And I know the way the game went, they used everyone, so they had to use him. But, I mean, looking back, he probably would have played him there now. But, man, I mean, it just would have made all these other moves just completely avoidable if you just start with pinch hitting Brandon Lau there instead of Chandler Simpson. And, yeah, I don't know. It is the first time Junior's ever played first base his MLB career. You can tell he didn't look comfortable over there. And half of it's on Fairbanks for throwing over a second time. You kind of got to know the situation. And half of it, mostly 95% of it is on Kevin Cash. Your job as a manager, your job as a coach is to put your team, put your players in the best situation to succeed. And two of the last three games, Kevin Cash has put his players in some of the worst situations possible to succeed. And look, I know he's going to turn around. He's the best manager in the game for a reason. But my God, it has been a rough few nights in Tampa, Florida for Kevin Cash. We're going to talk about the bullpen collapsing, and we're going to look ahead to the Brewers series right after this. This episode is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get your job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands, you'll find exactly what you need to deliver fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5, 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game, before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. What would it look like? Which players are going to show up in the biggest moments, and how could tracking their trends help you build your next bet? That's all stuff that FanDuel shows you. New to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And finally, this episode is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better-for-you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no-shell variety. It's a perfect grab-and-go snack for busy days, whether I'm out snacking on my desk or out a road trip or just need a quick protein boost. They're always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are a classic favorite. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. So again, if you're in the live, make sure that you leave a comment. We will be getting to them at the end of the live. If you guys are watching the replay, also make sure to leave a like and comment. As I promise you, over the next 120 some odd games, the Rays will win at least one of them. That's what I can promise. So we have to talk about the bullpen, and I always tend to give the pitching some benefit of the doubt because they've had to carry this team for so long. It is just so debilitating that one of their worst performances of the year came at such a key time for the Rays. Like there's no such thing as much needed wins, like must win games in May, like the first week of May. But this is as close as you can get to one of those, if I'm being completely honest. And for the Rays to not come out on top, I mean, it's just debilitating. You can't keep asking your starting pitching to hold potent lineups like the Phillies, the Yankees, the Brewers have a pretty good lineup. The Blue Jays, you just keep going on. The Astros coming in soon. Keep going on to 2 or less runs and accept to just compete at a high level. At some point, the offense needs to do their part. And then when the offense does do their part like they do tonight, it's just we can never have nice things as Rays fans. It's the one time where the bullpen just decides to completely fall apart. And right away, I could kind of tell you said it didn't have his best stuff. He was hanging stuff. He was obviously pitching back-to-back days, which he never should have done to begin with because they should have brought him in the 8th inning on Tuesday instead of yesterday in a blowout. But we talked about that ad nauseum enough. But there's just so many bad decisions going back to Tuesday's game that led to this outcome. And then piled on by even more bad decisions in this game that led to even more just crushing that led to even more just moments that led to this crushing loss. So look, I always try to look for optimism. Jonathan Aranda was a very big point of optimism in this game. I mean, he's been fantastic. Proved that he can hit left-handed pitching. Went the other way for all 3 of his hits. It was fantastic. But I mean, look, it's hard not to look at the negative. The Rays were 11-0 going into this game, scoring 5 when they're scored 5+ runs, 5 or more runs. They're obviously 11-1 now. It's the first time the Rays have blown a save this year. It's the first time that they have lost when they were leading going into the 9th inning. So just keep piling on because there is just very difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel right now with the way that the Rays are playing. So let's get to your guys' comments. If you guys are in the comments, make sure that you have make sure that you leave a comment. We're going to go to Gary. First, he says there are no trades to be made now or magic elixirs to be found. This team just has to bounce back. And the offense bounced back. I thought it was pretty admirable the way that they fought, the way that they battled. Even in the bottom of the 10th, Danny Jansen scoring that run and Cabby putting together pretty decent at bat before striking out. So, yeah, it's just, look, once a week, your bullpen, your pitching are going to have a bad performance. And it just so happened to line up when the Rays got their best performance of the offense in the last 15 games. And I want to say, shout out Taylor Walls. I thought he was fantastic in this game. And I said in the last episode that he's not going to get 4 hits the rest of the months. I will eat my words. He's been playing his best baseball probably the last 2 years. So no Taylor Walls slander will be allowed for the upcoming for the upcoming game. So we're going to go to Steve Anthony. I believe this might be his first time commenting. This is what happens if you play third base. My first cash. I still do not get that decision. Like Brandon Lau has played first base more recently than Junior Caminero. Like if you're gonna do what you did, then play Brandon Lau at first. Like Junior just did not look comfortable at all. Matt Blankenship also had a comment about that. We're gonna go to Lions, Rays, Gators. I try not to overreact, especially when talking about due time manager year, but this team hasn't been able to get any sustained momentum since June 2023, and the decisions are stupid. And the decisions go more than Kevin Cash. A lot of decisions in the front office. Obviously, the whole Wander Franco situation put this franchise back years. He was supposed to be your transcendent superstar, and everything that happened with him and him turning out just to be, if everything's proven accurate, just a terrible human is just not good. So again, I try not to blame him either, but I mean his fingerprints are all over the 2 of these last 3 losses. So it is just terrible. We're gonna go to Matt here when he says the sad day when a solo home run from Junior, a 3-run home run from Yandy is not enough to win. 5-1 going into the 8th. Just, I mean, there is just no discrews. No reason, that you shouldn't win that game. And it's just terrible. As we go to I'm Carter X, the Rays way would never win a World Series. Unfortunately, I've been a Rays fan since 1998. Championship teams are stacked both ways to win. Yeah, I won't say never because you never know what can happen over the course of 162 games in the playoffs, because in the playoffs more than ever, pitching wins and bullpen wins. So, I will never say never, but when you see the guys that the Phillies have, it's like, where do the Rays stack up? Like, I don't think the Rays have a single player that started today, maybe outside of Yandy, I know for a fact the Rays don't have a single player outside of maybe Yandy or Junior that would play consistently in the Phillies lineup, like on their entire roster. Maybe a Ronda too, but then again, you're not taking Bryce Harper's at bats at first. I mean, the talent disparity is just huge. And you're right to an extent, like how are the Rays supposed to compete with that? I don't know. They've competed with it since 1998, like you said. And, my parents were at the first ever game. They were inaugural season ticket holders. So, like, I know, that they've watched every pitch too, and it's been the same since then. And, the Rays have won 2 pennants. They've made the playoffs not a million times, but they made the playoffs, 08, 2010, 11, 12, keep going on. So, yes, it's going to be hard for them to win. Is it impossible? No, I do not think so. Do you see Janikowski get a DFA when the I guys come back? Yes, he'll be the first one to go, and then Curtis Mead, and then you kind of go from there. Janikowski is just here to just kind of, continue just to have the Rays do anything. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do there. As we go to our Genius had a comment, which was a good one. They did better against Lazard than I thought they would do. What a shame for the outcome. Yeah, they really battled against him. They got him out early. They got his pitch count over 100. Again, the Rays bats were fantastic tonight. The way that they battled, especially in the 3rd and 6th innings, I thought were really admirable. Just put together some super good at bats. Unfortunately, it did not matter. As we go to Matt again, I know it's only May, but do you see anyone getting in the All-Star team in July? So every team is guaranteed one player. So the Rays will get at least one player added to the All-Star roster, and I think it's either going to be Shane Baz or Jonathan Aranda. Maybe both if the Rays can pick it up. Like, July's a long time away, guys. And if the Rays can take 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee, you just need, like I said, you just need to tread water because Baltimore is 11 games under 500 right now. Toronto is down by 2 runs right now as well. Boston won today, which sucks. But again, the American League East continues to lose. The Rays are 5 games back after everything that happened. So just to look ahead again a little bit, the Rays go Milwaukee, at Toronto, at Miami. Again, that should be a winning stretch over those 9 games. You got to focus on going maybe 6-3 during this stretch. And then you go versus Houston, versus Toronto, versus Minnesota. Again, not easy, but not the most difficult. Then you go at Houston, versus Texas, versus Miami, at Boston. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The entire first half of the year is tough. And then the Rays finally get some breathing room in the second half of the year. But there are some pockets here that are winnable games for the Rays. And I said they need to tread water right now until they get their guys back. Right now, they're drowning. And I don't know, the Rays took a massive step in the right direction today with their offense. So if the Rays can kind of show that again, they'll be in good shape. But, I mean, it's hard not to panic at. It's hard not to say the Rays have hit rock bottom because of how bad they've been at home. I mean, my God, they've lost 6 in a row. They've lost 11-12. It is just appalling what they're doing at home, what they're doing at Steinbrenner. It's hard to even call it a home field advantage because most of the time there's more visiting fans than there is home fans. And, we're not going to get into the whole stadium thing here, but people said that it was a St. Pete problem, that people didn't want to drive over the bridge. But, I mean, look, it's embarrassing as Rays fans, and that's part of the embarrassment of this loss is hearing them chant Eagles. It's hearing the Phillies cheers louder than the Rays cheers when they score. So, and I heard that through the TV. So that goes on and it ticks on to the embarrassment. But look, in baseball, you need to have the memory of a goldfish. And these guys are professionals. They'll get back to it. And I have no doubt that eventually the Rays are going to go on a streak. But, man, the Rays are sitting at 16-21 right now, guys. I mean, it's just hard not to just think the worst. But, again, after all of that, they're 9-16 at home. They're only 5 back. Only 5 back in the division. They just need to tread water a little bit. And then if you just survive this onslaught, get some guys back, and the Rays can go on a run. Just survive the first half. The schedule in the second half, much easier. Just much easier in the second half. You're going to play the White Sox twice. You're going to play all those not as good teams twice. Just to open the second half, you play Chicago, not very good. Cincinnati, not very good. Los Angeles, the Angels, not very good. The Athletics, not very good. You play St. Louis, who's not good this year. You play Washington, that's not good. You just keep going down this list. The second half of the season, much more manageable than the first. The Rays just need to keep trying to tread water. And right now they're drowning, but the Rays have a chance to, get some oxygen going into this weekend series. So I appreciate everyone that joined live. I appreciate everyone's watching the replay. The best part about doing this, I'm going to be here through the highs, through the lows, and through kind of the middle times. And right now, this is the lowest of the low to that the Rays have had so far this season. I think worse than losing 1-0 a few times like they have. It's just the Rays had this game won, and it was a game that the Rays needed, and it was a game that they needed. So I have no doubt Kevin Cash will bounce back. I have no doubt that this lineup will eventually get things going. This lineup took a huge step in the right direction tonight, right? So I have no doubt that this bullpen and Edwin Uset and Pete Fairbanks will be fantastic the next time out. And the thing that hurts even more, the Rays don't have their top 3 and top 4 bullpen arms tomorrow because Rodriguez threw as well. So hopefully the Rays offense shows up because they're going to need it tomorrow. So we'll end it there. And again, the best part about baseball, got to have a goldfish memory that the Rays play tomorrow, and maybe, just maybe, we can get this sour taste out of our mouths. If you guys made it to the end, I appreciate you guys so much. Remember, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you all so much.